Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 22 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Last episode, we got ourselves a new owner, whose name is Tony Acuna, likely. And Mr. Acuna has basically given me a new lease on life. Because I'm pretty sure I would have been fired had he not been hired to join us and do more things. We are in the process of... it's really hard to say that we're in the process of, getting significantly better. We're in the process of making marginal improvements, I should say. And trying to get the right players to put us in a position to succeed for years to come. Now, we are picking 7th in this next draft, but that won't be until next season starts, so we'll worry about that a bit later on. Our first and most important step is to establish who of these individuals who wish to keep, and who of these individuals who wish to send on their merry way. So, let us begin, dear friends. We've already offered that. Beautiful. We need to save as much money as we can so we can try to either step up my development budget, and it can be more than 3 times the minimum. I'm going to try this and see if that gives me more money. It does. The game was basically earmarking stuff for international amateur free agents. Last couple seasons haven't really been worth it. So that's going to save us some money that we can reinvest. So, first of all, Quinn Priester, I will happily give you a contract extension. I'd like a long-term one, but I'm beginning to learn my lesson about instantly going for the long term. I will give you $4.9 million. You deserve that much. Cody Bolton, I don't even think you're worth $1 million. Not when I have so many minor leaguers that can do your job as well as you can. But I also can't trade you because of your injury, so I'm just going to go ahead and let you go. Durbin Feltman, I will happily give him a new 1-year deal. I think that's extremely reasonable. Manuel Rodriguez was very good to us as recently as last season. And he's really only asking for $800,000, so I'm going to go ahead and give him that $800,000. I don't think we're keeping either one of our second basemen. And here's why I'm thinking that. First of all, we have Cristian Hernandez. I know he's maybe not an amazing second baseman, but I think he's done enough to earn a trial in the majors. And second, if I called up him and say Tolentino, I can get them for the league minimum, not, $6 million combined. Almost $7 million combined. Now, you might look at Peguero and say, but wait a minute, Abby, isn't he kind of okay? And he is. He's good for what he does. I don't dislike him. But if we trade him, that's $4 million we have to spend on other players. And we need every cent we can get right now. That's the truth of it. let's talk to our scout, right? Our scout thinks he's a solid overall offensive contributor. And he's been solid. He hasn't been outstanding, but he's been solid. I don't even think you're worth $2 million, my guy. I've got to be really, really cheap. And Peguero was one of those who was probably more victimized than just about anyone else by the weird fact that the game was just not playing the rookies. But he's basically turned in the same thing 3 years in a row. This is probably what he is. He's also got bad loyalty and bad work ethic. So I'm going to try to trade Peguero and try to get something decent in exchange. Any position, I want the best possible prospect. Alright, so the two best prospects being offered to me are relievers. Low work ethic. Righty, very, very hard thrower. An intriguing prospect. Jairo Solis. This is a reliever. Or a starter, rather. He is not a reliever. And I know I don't exactly need another pitcher in the rotation. But we are losing Savali, right? Yeah, you know what? I am more than happy to grab Solis if you'll give him to me. However, we also need to try to pick up another prospect or two to improve our chances of buying high on this particular trade. Sal Stewart is a hell of a player. But I have the feeling you're the exact kind of player that they will not trade. Not without giving up somebody that I have no intention whatsoever of giving up. Okay. What if I threw in Alameus? Would that be enough to get us closer on Cam Collier? Was it Collier or Stewart I was looking at? Oh. Collier's even better. No, I'm having to give up an elite prospect so we could do this. Is there something else we'd like to get? Now, we're pretty far off on a few positions here. We're going to need a new first baseman. And we probably need a new right fielder. And aren't I losing Logan Brown? Aren't you a free agent now? No, you're still good for the minimum for another season. Fantastic. Let's go back to making a trade. God damn it. Here you go. A player like Victor Diaz would not be a terrible choice. He wants some more time to think about it. I'm curious as to why my manager doesn't like this trade. Like, I admit we could get more, and I'm going to try to get more. I wonder if I could get Villalobos. No. Alex DeJesus isn't a terrible player. He'd be willing to consider this, and I like the power, and I like that we can give him some time to develop a bit. So we're gonna try this out and see how this deal works. It is extremely close. Would you take Alameus? No, Alameus actually doesn't help us move this deal along. I mean, Vanderheij's a 19th round pick. I'm not gonna cry if I can't keep him. I like Collifoot. I think he's going to be a while, picking up a bit more speed. Campana. I will happily hand this individual to you. Can I get you to throw in Mr. Flores here? No, that's not going to fly. I'm not giving you any of the players you're asking for. Maybe Polanco. Polanco's merely a pretty decent defensive outfielder who I don't think is ever going to hit for a whole lot. Alright, if you make this deal, I'll be happy with it. And I will not argue any further. That's a big fat nope there, an even bigger nope there, and a reasonably large nope right there. Give me... Come on, dude. People are so damn close. I'm going to try to downgrade it to a 6th round pick and see if he'll take it. Nice. I can't give you a promotion because your promotion would be my job. If he wants a raise, I'll give him a raise. He's been pretty reliable up to this point. Yeah, I get what you're saying here, Sherrington. We are giving up kind of a proven commodity here, but we're giving up two players who aren't likely to have very much value. And we're saving a bunch of money, so we kind of have to do it. Now, how much money do I now have to spend? I'm at $12 million in free agents and $6 million for extensions. I could afford to keep Alameus if I wanted to. But I don't think I want to. I mean, he is an elite defender. That is without question. Jackson Miller would actually be a pretty decent backup catcher. If I don't keep him, is there someone else who could fill that role well? And that's the issue. There kind of isn't. And it's not like a modest raise is going to hurt his trade value. So I'm going to offer him a round, but unless I get a really great offer, yeah, no one wants him. I'm more than satisfied with just giving him his requested salary. Maybe a tiny bit more. And then that settles all of those issues. I'm not going to re-sign Savali. I wouldn't mind bringing back Marisnik. And his deal's pretty affordable. But you have to figure a player like Marisnik is probably someone I can find pretty easily in free agency. So I don't think I want to bring him back either. So I've got 5 openings on the roster. Will Klein, I don't mind keeping you as a reliever, but if I need some extra spaces on the roster, you're the first one getting added. All right, Jackson Miller, I think, is going to be a backup catcher this season. Wait, how did Endy do in AAA? Endy did well enough that I probably deserve to at least give him a shot at a major league job. But I don't want to lose Miller for nothing, so I'm going to put him on the 40-man. Cale Lansville could definitely go on the 40-man. I'm likely going to need 2 new starters this season. So I'm definitely going to throw him on the 40-man. Colby Frieda. I think yes. I think Colby Frieda is fine as yet another pitching option. And now I've got 38 men on my roster. Ismael Mina was pretty shit, my dudes. And we're going to have to hope he turns in a better season. But we'll see what happens there. And yes, I am ready to advance to all of the awards. Did we get any gold gloves this season? We sure didn't. I mean, I'm not saying that we deserved one either. I don't think we deserved any awards this year. If we got any, I'll be genuinely quite surprised. But I don't think that's going to happen here. Holy shit. Andy Maldonado won the Cy Young Award? I mean, he did lead the league in WAR and strikeouts, but I certainly didn't expect that. Now, here's my big issue. He's an amazing pitcher, right? He's going to want to get paid. I'm very tempted by offering him a big money deal right now. Because he's probably going to get arbitration this season, right? On the flip side, though, I think I need to see a second season before I start thinking about opening up the checkbook again. And this is because if I'm paying one player $30 million, I have to pay the rest of my roster with like $20, and that's going to be not so good. Anyone I would like to sign to a longer deal, if I can get them relatively cheap. It's really hard to say. I think there's a lot of players here that I'd kind of just like to give arbitration deals to until they've proven themselves a bit more. I mean, there's a lot to like about this salary for Eddie Yean, though. The problem is he's coming off of an injury, and I don't want to invest in him until I'm sure he's going to come back and be something of the pitcher that he once was. We're also kind of a pitching factory. Oh, I forgot about you, Mr. Solis. If I made you a starting pitcher out of curiosity, what would you be rated? A 47 with a 56 potential. That's way better than Bruns or Savali. You'd make a pretty nice upgrade. And at a bare minimum, you're a great sixth man. So I'm happy to make that decision. Damn, Maldonado. If you can keep it up and stay healthy, I will try to find a way to pay you. I don't know how, but I will. Alright, let's get to some Hall of Fame voting. Bobby Abreu and Adrian Beltray. Yes. Ryan Braun, no. Robinson Cano, debatable. Again, I don't really bother myself with the steroid type stuff when I'm sorting out whether I think someone belongs in the Hall or not. I think yes to Cano. Yes to Cologne, because how would I not vote for him? He's amazing. Yes for Helton. Yes for Hudson. Yes for Nick Markakis. Or not Nick Markakis. I was looking at him. No, yes for Andrew Jones. Yes for Joe Mauer. Yes for Manny Ramirez, although I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think Manny gets in the Hall. And then I've got one more discretionary slot to use, and it's going right to Ichiro. Yeah, someone asked a really good question. Why is his WAR so low? And I think a lot is because WAR as a metric isn't kind of players with his offensive profile, which is basically he hit shit tons of singles every year. I think he's one of the best to play Major League Baseball. And he's like an enormous deal because of his cross-cultural impact. But it's really hard to argue that he was like an elite player for his entire career. And it's not his fault. It's because he came to the United States when he was already pretty well established. But yeah, he also hurt his case by staying on too long. His last good year was in 2016. He was 42, admittedly. But yeah. I think he's definitely deserves the Hall of Fame. But he has an offensive profile based mostly on singles. And that's never going to look good because WAR likes total bases. And I'm somehow leaving CC Sabathia off my list. That can't be allowed. Abreu, you might make it. You might. Andrew Jones won't. If I have to pick between CC Sabathia or Andrew Jones, I'm going to get me some CC. There we go. So free agency wise, what could we use to give the team some veteran leadership? First base, center field. Like, I can't afford Cody Bellinger. I'm not even going to insult myself by asking the question, can I afford Cody Bellinger? The answer to that is no. Even in a perfect freaking world where I had unlimited money, I can't afford him. Scouting Mr. Gackler, please. Alright. What positions... So let's start calling up the people who are going to be playing roles on this team. Jackson Miller, how many years in AAA have you played? You've played 2. You've never been great. Let's give you a bit more seasoning there. I'll call up Bendy Rodriguez, too, to be the starting catcher. I don't have to call up Tolentino now because Hernandez has a pretty decent shot of winning this job out of spring training. I'm at least willing to give him the shot. I really don't want Blaze Jordan. I think of all the people who've been screwed over most by the game being weird about putting people in the right situations, no one's been hurt more than Blaze Jordan. He needs to play every freaking day. So much so, game, I'm not even going to give you the option. I don't trust you. Put him at first base. Do not bench him for anything. I need him to play a year in the minors to see how he turns out. Zion Rose is really turning into something special. And he had a good season in AA, but not a great one. But I think I'm still going to call him up to AAA to let him repeat it. Alex Aguilar barely got any innings at AA. I definitely want him pitching more before I commit to him. And Perez can just go wherever Perez goes. So, positions I could use upgrades at. First base and center field. Our offensive positions I'd really like to get a decent 1 or 2 year player at. That's my hope. I won't necessarily insist upon it, but it's my hope. You know, I want to keep him as a catcher until I'm sure that I have a good base on catcher. And I don't again, the AI might decide to play Miller more than Rose. Rose plays every damn day until he has proven that he's either ready to be called up. I'm going to be gentle with him because I want to maximize the amount of money that I get him for. But he could be the answer to an awful lot of questions right now, including where in the hell am I going to get any power? Because that is a question with no good answer right now. Although a healthy Brian Hayes is going to fix that a little bit. All right. So we're going to take a look at the second and third tier free agents. First base. Hi, Pavin Smith. Bobby Dahlbeck would fix the power issue. Pavin Smith is a little bit better overall, though. He's a little more reliable, but I just need elite power. And Dahlbeck has, if nothing, provided elite power pretty consistently. So, Mr. Dahlbeck, I'd like to offer you a 1-year deal. And then I want a new center fielder. Again, I'm going to look for cheap. So I want to make sure we have fielding at CF. I want at least 60. I'm going to sign you for some minor league depth. It's either going to be Zimmer or Marisnik. And I think Marisnik is the better choice. Maybe platoon you with McGuire to try to get McGuire some reps to see if he can handle center at any point. I could sign both of you. Which issue do you have more of, Mr. McGuire? You're a lefty, so a guy like Marisnik makes sense as... Yeah, so I'm going to try to bring back Marisnik for a season. And I know I'm not really buying any big players yet. Assuming that I get these players that I've offered deals to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another $5 million into player development. That's where I'm going to invest my money this offseason. You're right. You all get activated, don't you? I don't mind Rhys Hoskins at all, but I'm giving you a pretty decent pitcher for it. So how about I don't offer Rodriguez, and I see... Oh, you'd want one of my very best players, and in that case, fuck you. Ben Hernandez is interesting, but he's not a huge deal. Jonathan Robbins will never play well. And I'm not saying I wouldn't trade Durbin Feltman, but I am saying I wouldn't trade him for this. So, again, I shall pass. I think we've fixed the holes, the biggest holes in the roster now with a couple of veteran pickups here. And let the rookies have a bit more time to develop. Kim signed. Both of you are willing to sign for relatively cheap. You know what I also wouldn't mind? I also wouldn't mind a decent right fielder. Clear filter. Right field. Okay, I'd want someone who's a more regular contributor. And I'm not getting suckered into this nonsense again. Victor Robles is pretty damn good, and I also don't think I can afford him. No. I mean, I could afford him, but it would be tanking my availability for a couple of seasons to come, and it's just not worth it to me. Kyle Tucker is 28 and a damn good hitter. You know what? If you will take less money, I will happily sign you to a prove-it deal. Take advantage of your success, and if you turn out to suck, you turn out to suck. It is going to mean less money for other pursuits, and I accept that. But he gives us instant credibility. And unlike most cases, I would be totally comfortable either trying to extend him later on or trading him. I got a whole mess of players here. If you were left-handed, Joe Boyle, I'd consider you. You only play shortstop. Yeah, there's a lot of players here that seem interesting to me, but aren't necessarily what I'm looking for. Maybe you, Montesino? Like, you look like an incredible all-around hitter. Why not? Oh, sorry, I need to auto-draft until I get to pick, and then I can take Montesino. I will happily give people opportunities in my organization. If we get Tucker, I don't know how I'll react. Because that is definitely not something that I anticipated at the beginning of this offseason. Okay, we got Dalbec and Marisnik, both of which are going to be helpful to us. I'm going to need to make some space on the 40-man. I said what I said. Sorry, Klein. And sorry, Maciel, really. Especially if Fletcher's a decent center fielder. He's not. Soto's just bad. Like, he's a decent hitter, but he's not. Let me try to trade you, Mr. Soto. And I'm just looking to get a decent prospect. It's not going to cost me a roster spot. And I failed. So I guess you and Klein are both going to get pushed through waivers. And then that should enable me to add Dalbec and Marisnik. I am not seeing anyone else picking up Tucker. You both cleared waivers. That's great. Nope. Uber nope. It's very interesting to me that Tucker has not said anything yet. I'm wondering if he's hoping to wait. Sabathia and Beltray both made it. Ramirez dropped. That's fine. Boom. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this is a deal without risk. That would be a lie. But this is still a very, very good deal. Alex Freeland, I'd like to trade you, please. You know what? I will take Nafi Castillo. Now, let me be completely realistic with you right now. I don't think we're going to be able to bring him back next season. No matter what. I don't see that happening. So our goal basically is to enjoy him this season and then offer him arbitration in the hopes that he either takes it and I get a great player for less than his market value, or that he doesn't take it and I get a badass draft pick. Alright. Let's go ahead and advance up. I'm getting offers to coach one of the World Baseball Classic teams. See, I don't think you actually get to pick the teams, which is why I'm kind of not that interested in it. Like, do I even get to know who is who is eligible? I mean, it could be fun. But no, I think we're going to wait. I think we might do this when the next one comes around. Oh, no, you actually do get to pick the rosters. If that's the case, I will happily represent... Oh, I can't take them anymore. Well, I feel dumb. Oh, well. I know for next time. Oh, there's a big rule change. What is it? Oh, wow. Oh, that is massive. That's another year of arbitration. 3 years at the minimum? Oh my word, that's fantastic news for us. Here I was thinking, oh, they're just going to announce the DH coming to the National League, but that's awesome. That's going to help us keep this team together. Get as much worse as you want to, Kyle Tucker. Ooh. I'm going to tell you what. I don't even want Julian Fernandez. I want a first-round draft pick. I mean, a second-round draft pick is pretty damn tempting. Why are you giving me Julian Fernandez? Oh, because he probably costs money. I will turn right around and trade him again. Because you basically just handed me a second round pick for 2 mediocre catchers that'll never amount to much. And I can happily just turn around and flip you again, Mr. Fernandez. Unless you're left-handed, which you're not. If you were right-handed, I was actually going to think about keeping you. But no, I've got loads of good pitchers. How about I turn around and flip you for a prospect? Let me just see what else is being offered. Not being offered much, but here's the benefit. I got like Kyle Keller. Only gets paid if he goes up to the major leagues. Are you a lefty? No, you're just a bad first baseman. Yeah, I will... You know what? A veteran first baseman in the system isn't the worst idea. So I'm going to go ahead and acquire Matheson. What are you talking about? What is it about freaking Julian Crappy Fernandez that makes you think I'd want him? He's just going to take up a roster spot. I mean, I guess I can check your prospects, but you're not going to give me anyone I actually want, are you? Okay. So let's back up the freaking truck right now. What if I threw in a 4th round pick? Then you'll take a joker like this guy. Yeah. This is not a stinker of a deal. You're a stinker of a GM. I'm trading literal garbage for a legitimately excellent, top-tier outfield prospect. And I don't care about Matheson. At the worst, he's helpful. At the least, he's not. And all I'm giving up is a 4th round pick. Done. Maybe I could have gotten a 3rd for that pick, but that's fine. Yeah, you got freaking fleeced, Nationals. I don't know what in Tarnation convinced you that you wanted these catchers that badly. Maybe OSA thinks they're both secretly megastars, but bro, I've never had an easier trade decision in my life. Sure, I couldn't get a 1st round pick out of you, but that's alright. Absolutely not. I don't want that guy. Oh, let's go ahead and make sure that Kyle Tucker is flagged as a right fielder. I know it makes him a little bit less quality, but I'm okay with that. And I'm going to go ahead and send Morabel back to the minors so that he can... I guess it doesn't matter if he plays in spring training, but he's not going to make the major league roster, I don't think. Anyone I want to give an invite to spring training? Probably Montgomery and Rose. I'll even let Rose have most of the playing time in the spring training if that's what is best for the team. And then let's make it a 6-man rotation for the spring. I wish you'd stop trying to start Jacob Wallace. He's not good enough. Yeah, just quit turning my damn relievers into starters, but I don't know. It doesn't hurt to give them even more work in out of the bullpen. Alright, let's go ahead and simulate the season. Not the whole season, obviously, but... I'm real excited about Kyle Tucker. I think we got incredibly fortunate there. Then again, Mitch Keller can just be like, wait a minute, I'm not the ace anymore? And then he gets sad, and then he gets really good as a result, apparently. We really do have an embarrassment of riches at the pitching and as pitching staff, don't we? I mean, that sucks to be him. Oh, he's yet another reliever. Fine. I don't really care, to be honest. Yeah, friends, I don't know how good we could be this season. If Kyle Tucker and Ke'Bryan Hayes both stay healthy this season, and we get another great year out of Maldonado and Mitch Keller, and Noah Smith takes a step forward like he should, I don't know, friends. It could be... We could have a special season. Eddie Yeen's already starting to slip. Solis got better. Rodriguez looks like he's getting better a bit. Ethan Roberts is throwing even harder. Priester got better. Zion Rose made some decent strides, but not enough that I'm going to call him up to the majors yet. Andy Rodriguez got a little better. So did Logan Brown. Dahlbeck got better. Hernandez got worse. Tolentino got a little better. Ke'Bryan Hayes is a better contact hitter. That's always helpful. Noah Smith got better. Hudson Head got better. Marisenik is about the same. McGuire got worse. He got worse in center. This is not good, my friend. This was your chance. You're kind of blowing it, dude. Alright. So let us begin with the traditional paring down of the roster. I have 18 pitchers. I need at best 13. Adam Hill, minors. Montgomery, minors. Well, that's 2 people into the minors. Apparently, Maddox Bruns gets freaking ridiculous if you put him in the pen. Lansville Miners. Reinhardt Miners. I do like that dude having 6 starters. I'm down to 14 pitchers. This is pretty hilarious, right? Like, everyone has upside except for Manuel Rodriguez, who I just acquired a couple seasons ago. Can I get a really good prospect for him, out of curiosity? I can definitely get some decent prospects for him. A guy like Dylan Cruz is a good bat. He's a really good bat, actually. And he's someone that would be ready to be called up if someone got hurt. If I can get 2 players like Quieto and Cruz for Manuel Rodriguez, I will happily take it. But I'll happily throw in Lopez just to get it done right now. There we go. Like, everyone else had upside. He didn't. He was as good as he was ever going to get. Miller, Perez, Rose, all to the minors. Did you play in the majors last year? You did. Andy, I'm at least going to give you a chance to start out the season and just see how you handle being the full-time catcher. Jordan could still get better. I guess Tolentino's going to make the roster just because I don't have any more options on him and I'm not willing to give him up yet. I don't need Vargas. I don't need like 1,000 third basemen. I'm just going to trade McGuire. Because unless we get a DH, I don't think he's ever going to be worth it. Mina to the minors. Morobel to the minors. I've got to at least give McGuire a shot, don't I? Has he earned it? Maybe he needs a year in AAA. And then I don't need the worst version. No, actually, Trey Fletcher's actually better than Maciel. Fletcher's a better bat off the bench. So here we go. This is our starting lineup. It's not ideal, but it's certainly not bad. And it's better than last season's, in my opinion. Right. So we're going to do this. Have a 5-man rotation. Maldonado. Keller and Priester are a very, very easy top 3. What else we got here? Rodriguez and Wallace? I mean, the game keeps wanting to make him a starter for a reason. Maybe I should just go with the flow? I mean, Yeen has the better stuff against lefties. But Wallace has better control of the two of them. I'm going to try Yeen, but Wallace is going to be my 6th starter, my long reliever emergency starter. Alright. So let me look at only relievers now, please. The best combination of stuff and control is indeed Mr. Feltman here. Then I really like a lot of these guys, actually. That's the thing, right? Oh no, you should be emergency starter, then long relief. I'm going to make Tucker Davidson long relief, then emergency starter. Bruns is a strikeout machine that kind of leads me to believe he'd be the best as a specialist, with maybe the odd middle relief inning here and there. And I think Ethan Roberts and... yeah, I think Ethan Roberts and Cy Nielsen are my setup men. Which then leaves Solis and Frieda to pick up middle relief innings. Frieda's also possibly an elite level starting pitcher. You know what? I'm going to send Frieda to the minors. I'd rather have Reinhardt. And this is just purely because Frieda can be oh so much more. So can Nielsen. Yeah, you guys should be starting. Let's see. Lansville. Nielsen doesn't have a huge amount of stamina. Nielsen, you know, we can keep Nielsen and just make him the kind of pitcher that gets used a little bit more often. I'm going to use you as a backup specialist, too. Nuke it all. Batting ratings. Kyle Tucker is quite clearly the best hitter on the team. And I don't think I can really dispute that. At least that would be... now I can dispute it, maybe. Tucker's the best hitter on the team, but I kind of want him to be the cleanup guy. Just because Brian's a better doubles hitter. Oh, does Tucker have... he's not as good against lefties, but yeah, I think we're going to do... Hayes, Tucker cleanup, and then Dahlbeck hits 5th. A 350 on base percentage is fine from a leadoff guy. I'm okay with that. And then I think Noah Smith hits 2nd. I think he's got enough upside that he can offer us Some good runner movement here. Yeah, I will let Logan Brown hit 6th, and I will let Andy Rodriguez back him up and just play quite regularly. Hernandez, I'm sending you back to AAA. Oh, that was your issue, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm just going to have to hope that you can improve somewhat quickly with relatively minimal playing time, because on the face of it, I see no reason to play you over, or Tolentino over, or you over Tolentino. I guess I could have the two of you platoon. Like, Tolentino doesn't hit so good against left-handed pitching. That might be the best solution for the short term. And then I guess Marisnik is going to be the starting center fielder again. And then go ahead and give me a depth chart. No, Alameus should not be playing that frequently. And I'd rather Hernandez play over Alameus. Alright, so we're going to copy and copy. I'm going to paste both of you. And then we're just going to swap Hernandez and let him face left-handed pitching. Just so that both players get a fair bit of playing time this season. Just so we can see what we've got. And I think that's gonna set us up nicely for opening day. The last thing I want to do before I end the episode is I want to very quickly take a look at the draft pool and see what we might want to grab. Who we need to make sure that we've got lots of scouting on. All players, please. That's interesting. There's a lot of very solid players here. And you're not likely to get a superstar at 7th overall unless you get really lucky like we did with Zion Rose. Yeah, I gotta say, we've got a really good chance to get a pretty high quality prospect with our first pick. This is even assuming that all three of these relievers don't get picked up. I think this is really solid. Yeah, next season's draft is shallower than next one. We really don't like the 2028 draft. We don't know anything about the 2029 draft yet. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually quite okay with this particular draft pool, and I think we'll get a solid player with the 7th overall pick. Like a Caleb Hampton would be nice, right? Did he have... I'm sorry, did I see an 800 slugging I saw an 800 slugging percentage. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, we don't have a great future at center field. If Hampton fell to me at number 7, I think I'd take him. I think I'd take him happily. Let's take, before we end the episode, let's also make sure that people are where they're meant to be. Cole Young is going to be fun having another season in AA, and then other people are doing other things. Great. Okay. I'm pretty excited about our chances this season. I'm really excited about them. We admittedly have a couple of weak spots. Like, frankly, yes, Tolentino's better than Hernandez, but that's not saying a whole lot. Because Hernandez is still mostly raw potential. But we've got a decent lineup. Montesino could be amazing if he can prove himself. We've got Zion Rose coming up the pike. We've got Blaze Jordan, who is oh so close to being in the big leagues. I just need to see him play every day at AAA, or at least for like half a AAA season, and just see if he can start cranking the homers. I've got a couple of decent one-year rentals and Bobby Dahlbeck and Jake Marisnik again. And I really think, in fact, this is how certain I think I am. If Caleb Hampton falls to us, I think we take him. That's how certain I am that I think he will be a top-notch player. And again, second division starter. We are a second division team for now. We need to drown other teams in 50s. That's kind of our secret. We're going to drown other teams and above average players just because that's how we roll. If Maldonado has another good season, I'm probably gonna have to promote him. I'm probably have to give him a great big contract, which isn't ideal. But the thing is, I don't really have anyone else that would clearly deserve one. I mean, maybe Priester. What does Maldonado want? You want Jack Leiter money. I'm not positive if you're Jack Leiter yet. But here's what I'm going to ask from you, dear friend. I'm going to ask you to give me great seasons in your minimum years. And then we'll go from there. Who do I need to start thinking about? Oh, really? I'm going to get Bobby Dahlbeck back if I want him at a year of arbitration. That's pretty funny. I certainly didn't expect that. I love that change. I really do. Logan Brown is solid and reliable, and I don't think I'm going to bring him back if he wants a decent bit of money. What does Kyle Tucker want? He wants to get paid. My friend, you are bait. You are compensation bait. So when do I start worrying about Maldonado wanting arbitration money? Not for 2 more seasons yet. Okay. Hudson Head, I'm going to warn you right now. I am probably not going to be paying you $10 million a year. If you think that's what you're worth, disabuse yourself of that notion post-haste, please. Because that ain't happening. All right, friends. That's going to conclude this episode. Kyle Tucker, guys. Kyle freaking Tucker. He gives us legitimacy. He gives us power. He gives us a top-notch, middle-of-the-lineup presence that we just haven't had. If Hayes can stay healthy and Tucker produces like he did in Houston, I think we got a shot at a playoff spot. We have the deepest rotation in the league. I've probably got 10 Major League starters in my system right now. And that's not even counting someone like Aguilar, who is almost certainly a borderline Major League quality starter. Like, friends, we almost have an embarrassment of riches at starting pitching. And I know we don't have anyone in the top 10 prospects, and I think that's absolute silliness on the part of the game. I'm not mad about it. I'm just disappointed that you don't recognize how fucking amazing we are. We should be higher than 5th. In my honest opinion, our pitching talent alone deserves us to be top 3. And I bet if we make a good pick this year, we will be top 3. Like, Oakland is not twice as good as we are. Like, Applegate is a great player, don't get me wrong. But he's not the number 1 prospect in the major leagues. He's just not. Like, OSA thinks he's going to be basically Noah Smith with a slightly higher offensive ceiling. Which is fine, but it's not number 1 overall player. They do a lot of 70s and 80s, though. Look at you. This was a good pickup. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I mean, if we check Prospect Pipeline, by the way, it's going to say most of my players should be making the majors right now. Let me see here. This year, a couple years. This year, next year. This year. And then, yeah, down the line. A couple more seasons. Mr. Sanchez, when are you going to turn this potential into actual talent? So far, you ain't been the best. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Okay. How many prospects do we have in the top 20, I wonder? We have 2. And granted, the A's have 4. But we have 2. So, we're just looking to be competitive this season. If we finish with 80 or more wins, I'm going to chalk this up as a success. If we make the playoffs, I'm going to chalk it up as a huge success. That is what I would like out of this season. Now, is it going to work? I don't know. But we're going to try. And I would argue we have the deepest rotation in baseball. And it only gets deeper when you start looking in the minor leagues. I don't know why they're insisting on Eddie Yean getting a shot at staying a starter, when I know he's never going to give me 200 innings, but maybe 150 really good innings is worth it. He is pretty fragile, though. And remember, I promised to get better about that. I promised to start paying a lot of attention to injury history. Yeah, Zion Rose is why I'm extremely hesitant to commit to a catcher. Because if he's ready to go next season, like if he plays a full year of AAA and he kills it like he could, he's going to the majors. I'm not going to hold him back. He is my Adley Rushman, except better in a lot of ways. Granted, only my scout thinks of him this way, which is kind of funny if you think about it. What's even funnier is the fact he's rated barely, he's not even rated in the top 100. And I think that's a mistake. I do think that's a mistake. But yeah, we're gonna be the starter factory, and it's only gonna get worse if Aguilar takes one more step forward this season. It's all about this slider. If he gets the slider up to where it could be, he's gonna be in the majors next season. Emmanuel Rodriguez is another outstanding potential player. We just need to give these players opportunities in the minors and then see what we can make of them going forward. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I hope you're as excited as I am to see what Kyle Tucker can do in a Pirates uniform. And I hope you're even more excited about the idea of getting another draft pick out of him. But until next time, this has been Indian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.